जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगंधरिक गिरिधारी राधा ललित माधव जी की जय। रघुवंदे बिहारी रघुवंदे बिहारी जी की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जी की जय। राधा दामोदर श्याम सुंदर गोकुल नंद राधा रमन जी की जय। कृष्ण बलराम महाराज की जय। रूपनुग गौड़िय गुरुवर्ग की जय। परम राधितम गुरुपद पद्म की जय। निताय गौर वंदे हरे वंदेहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजतां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayane Tinamine Devam Narayanam Vande Vrindavana Nivasinam Anantaguna Bhushita Kotivatsalya Rupinam Gaura Kripa Vigrahaya Gaurangasya Priyatmane Tam Rupam Satatam Vande Majjivanasya Jivanam Virahena Sadaya Chetava Pada Padmeshame Ashraya Charane Dehi Gurudevi Kripamayam Radha Paksha Patitvena Krishna Paksha Parajitaha Atyallasa Harshananda Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. He Radhika Priyajana, He Lalita Gunanuga, He Shri Narayana Deva, Jayati Kirti Sarvada. Namom Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine. Namom Vishnu Padaya, Acharya Simharupine, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana, Keshava iti Namine. Atimartya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jiva Duke Sadartaya Shri Nama Prema Daine Radhe Radhe Timukabje Yasya Spurati Abhikshnam Radha Priya Swarupa Shri Jivana Janardanam Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshadvairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambodhi Padambujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Sarato Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohanam Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumado Shrimat Ratnagara Simhasanasto Shishi Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtalibi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamshibata Tatastitaha Karshan Venur Swanar Gopir Gopinata Shriyastuna Vrindayai Tulasidevyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cham Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadatara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A couple more times together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, welcome, Hare Krishna. We're very happy to see you. My name is Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaj, otherwise Sadhu Maharaj, otherwise just Maharaj, no problem. Your name is? Your name? Oh, okay. Give this gentleman the speaker. I'll give you the speaker, personal speaker. I asked about your name.
My name is
Trine. Very nice to meet you. Trine? No. Black and white. Yes, you touched it. Okay, good. All right, so we'll give the speaker to you and you will be able to hear. Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Yeah, you can listen like this. Okay, just hold it in your hands. Just hold it next to your ear if you want. Now you can hear me well, huh? All right. So this process is called Bhakti Yoga. So we're doing some presidential program today. Yesterday we had many people in Chester, but today in Llandudno, not so many came. Hopefully more will come. So Bhakti means devotional service, right? Have you read Bhagavad Gita or have you heard Bhagavad Gita?
I've heard of Bhagavad Gita. I've not really read it.
Okay. So we'll discuss briefly that subject today. But first, since our subject is actually the teachings of Sri Caitanya, you know Sri Caitanya? Okay, very good day for you. You will know about him, but first my introductory prayers, pranams. Agyanatimirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadatara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda 3-4 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, my unlimited obeisances, dandavats to my Gurudev, Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, my instructing Gurudev, Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, all devotees and guests in Llandudno. So you can see here Krishna, Supreme Personality, who has descended 5,000 years ago. And this lady next to Krishna is called Radha. So Radha is the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. So when Krishna came 5,000 years ago, not many could understand him, could follow him. He is the supreme enjoyer, and he exhibited many pastimes. But those pastimes were understood by the devotees who were already present there, and some people could not understand. But when Sri Caitanya came, Sri Caitanya, in 1486 he came, and he stayed on this planet for 48 years, till 1532. So he came as Krishna also, but incarnated as a devotee, golden avatar. So he was teaching the path of devotion to Krishna. Krishna varnam tuisha Krishnam sangha pangastra parshadam yagyaya sankirtana prayaya yajanti hi sumedasa. So those intelligence, sumedasa, have you heard this verse? Yeah. Krishna varnam tu, don't chant now. Krishna varnam tuisha Krishnam. You remember this? No. So he came, Krishna, darkish complexion, that's very wonderful color actually, called Shyam, Shyama Sundar. In India, Krishna is often called Shyam. But Sri Caitanya came of golden complexion. Akrishna means not dark, he was golden. Sangha Pangastra Parshadam, with his multiple associates of different kinds, very close, moderately close, and Nityananda and Advaita, the first ones, so different associates. Yagyaya Sankirtana Prayay. So he introduced the process of bhakti yoga, means devotional service, through mantra yoga, through chanting of the holy name. Sankirtana Prayay. So in the previous ages, before, the ages were more advanced than this. If you see the human history, you can see previously people were more wise, more introspective, and more pure, so many qualifications. So when the Golden Age was there, in Golden Age people were meditating massively, and everyone was going towards the supreme goal very easily. This is material world, and this is the map of cosmology, Vedic cosmology, Vedas, ancient most scriptures. So we are the residents of material world, and we're bound to go to spiritual world. So that process is actually called bhakti yoga, yoga of devotional service. By serving the Lord with devotion right now, we have the chance to go to spiritual world, his eternal abode. When he comes here with his associates, this is called avatar. So this is like the king comes to prison. This material world is called like prison. And the king sometimes visits prisoners. They arranged a meeting with them in a big hall for him. So he says, hey, prisoners, come to the path of righteousness like this. So some of them listen, and some of them take the proper path. So in that same way, the Lord comes to this world in order to bring the souls of this world to his abode, to spiritual world. Many abodes. So each and every soul has the destination of a certain abode in spiritual sky. So, in Golden Age, the method of perfection was meditation. Everyone was meditating on the Supreme Lord. There was no sin whatsoever. Everybody was very righteous. Nobody was cheating, stealing, all those things, never doing. So they were very pure, and everybody was going to spiritual world very easily and quickly. So then Silver Age came. In Silver Age, people were not able to meditate so long. So they were doing fire sacrifice. In India, have you been to India? Oh, you have. So you've seen yagyas probably. They're doing fire sacrifice in some places. Brahmanas, chanting swaha, swaha, like this. So this is called yagya, fire sacrifice. So by fire sacrifice, they were achieving the supreme goal, and they were going to spiritual world. And then Dwapara Yuga came, Copper Age or Bronze Age. So people became more sinful, they became more distracted towards material goals. But anyway, the proper method of cultivation wisdom, transcendental wisdom, was worshipping the deities in the temple. So you must have seen some deities in some temples, haven't you? So, so they were worshipping the Lord like this. But then Kali Yuga came. Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, which is in progress right now. It started 5,000 years ago, and it's very, very fallen. Manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya padrata. The people are very lazy, misled, devoid of good fortune, and moreover, always disturbed. Always disturbed. So that's why no way of meditation. People try, but mind distracted, you know. Oh, my wife left me. Oh, what will the neighbor say? What will my boss say? You know, like this. Or even they go to the Himalayas, there are no righteous kings who will be killing the wild animals, you know, protecting the hermits there, and so much distraction. So no way for meditation. For yagya, fire sacrifice, also you need to have brahmana initiation. You have to be brahmana, in fact, you know, very pure, having good intentions. Then no way of worshipping the deities without being properly initiated. So we also worship the deities. The families worship the deities, but we need to be initiated twice, you know, like brahmana initiation. So, but this chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can see you must have heard many times, is the best way and actually the only way of achieving perfection in this age of Kali. That's why in the scriptures, in Vedic scriptures, there's a saying, you know, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Repeated thrice, and chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, repeated thrice. So, because people are so fallen, you know, we just heard about their qualifications, practically disqualification. Every feature of a person in the Kali Yuga is total disqualification. No memory, memory lost. That's why before, you know, there were no books, because people were having brilliant memory. They were remembering everything. Guru was telling disciple, they were remembering at once. But now people lost their memory. So you need to have books, otherwise sclerosis, you cannot remember things. So that's why this process of chanting of the holy name is bona fide process, is a most sublime process for achieving perfection. So just before we start discussing the philosophy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who introduced this chanting of the holy name, let us do some practical engagement. Let us try to chant kirtan. Kirtan, you know, kirtan means congregational chanting. Have you ever chanted kirtan together? In India, you didn't have a chance. Okay, so it's a very, very nice day for trying today. He'll be chanting with us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is not an usual mantra. This is a very special mantra. That's why it's called Maha Mantra. Maha means great. So Maha Mantra, Man means mind, and Trayate means to liberate. So the great mantra for liberation of your mind, that is the great process of achieving perfection. Our mind has masses of different impressions from the past lives, like memory in the computer, where we've gone, what we've done, what we've seen, everything is recorded, and that is very, very, very material. So the holy names of the Lord are not different from Him, you know. So you can see the names Krishna, Rama, and Hare. So Hare is the name of Srimati Radhika, actually, Radha. She is the internal energy of the Supreme Lord, and His female counterpart, His best beloved. So Radha is the goddess of devotion. She can bring all perfection, all happiness in your perfection, in your process of bhakti. Devotional service. So Krishna means all joyous, and I mean Krishna means all attractive. Karshana means to attract. So he attracts all living entities by his wonderful flute play, by his wonderful features. Krishna's body is bound in three places, Tribanga Lalit. He is so much attractive, and he is the embodiment of love. He is new Cupid, Madan, Mohan, attracting all the living entities. he is casting glances, the sidelong glances, and those glances are like arrows piercing everyone's heart. So you cannot help, like in this world, people are all of a sudden in love. What's the reason? Cupid cast some arrow, and you're in love. So you are attached to that particular person. But Krishna is new Cupid. He is unprecedented Cupid, and he pierces everyone's heart with his transcendental arrows. So therefore, he is all attractive, all attractive. If someone is really, really beautiful, and Krishna is the embodiment of all beauty, then he is certainly most attractive. And Rama means all joyous, so he's giving all joy. So if someone is very, very beautiful, and that person attracts everyone and gives everyone joy. So Krishna is like that. But why? Because Radhika is next to him. That's why we say Sri Krishna. When Indians see us, they say Jai Sri Krishna. Glories to Sri Krishna. Sri means goddess of fortune generally, but she is the embodiment of all perfect qualities, all amazing qualities. So that's why she, when she is next to Krishna, then Krishna is complete. Without Radha, she is not complete. So just a few words about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's why Hare Krishna we say, not just Krishna, Krishna we say Hare Krishna. And Hare Rama also. So the sequence is very important. If you don't remember, just look up at the poster. We can start our kirtan now. You take Katal and Ridang, and first the leader sings, and then the choir follows. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So this is a short introductory kirtan. We're very happy. So you could feel so much enlivenment probably. We're very happy for trying. So we'll now discuss the teachings of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. These teachings are very revolutionary. Since long time ago, nothing of a kind was given to the humankind. You see? Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, here, here, see. So he was born in the holy place of Mayapur, West Bengal, where this delta of the Ganges, Ganga, has delta there. So that place is none different from Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the holy place. Have you heard of Vrindavan, Train? No. 150 kilometers from New Delhi towards Agra. That's a place where Krishna's pastimes were going on, and they are still going on. But Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Caitanya, is none other than Krishna himself. But he's in the feature of devotee. It's golden complexion. And always Krishna Varnam means the syllables Krishna are always on his tongue. Krishna Varnam. So he's exclaiming Ha Krishna, and exhibiting many ecstatic symptoms. Rolling on the ground, trembling, shedding tears. So he's surrounded by multiple devotees, many devotees of different kinds, and he's always immersed in the sweetness of the holy name. So he has proclaimed, oh, everyone, please chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Or keeping track of the names you're chanting. Yeah? So we're chanting both, show the Japamala, individually on the beads, like this, every day, and congregationally also. So congregational chanting of the holy name brings same results as in the ages we were mentioning before, the golden age meditation, the silver age fire sacrifice, the bronze age worshipping the deities in the temple, but even more than that, very special type of devotion it brings. So very easily, by chanting of the holy name, by the mercy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, you can make your journey to spiritual world very quick. You know, you're seeing this line, right? Like a thread leading to the highest planet of Krishna in spiritual sky. So it's made, if you see closer, it's made of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You know? So through chanting, we are obtaining full knowledge of spiritual reality. By first obtaining Swarup Siddhi, means knowledge of your spiritual body and the knowledge of your worshipable Lord. So you enter his sweet abode, and that is called Vastu Siddhi, in Sanskrit. Vastu means you enter his supreme abode. So right now we're foreigners in this material world. That's why we're trying to enjoy, but all attempts fail. It's not possible to enjoy. Some people understand that material life doesn't work, and they take to the path of yoga. Yeah? Try and have you practiced some yoga? I can see you have, and you are, right? So, what kind of yoga? Probably Hatha yoga?
No, actually, more the Chinese tradition, so Qigong,
Ah.
Tai Chi.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's very important. Yeah, for maintaining your soul comfortably in the body by maintaining health in all levels. It's a great, great process. So, but yoga actually, the name yoga comes from the Sanskrit root, which means to join, to unite. So these English words join and unite, they also have this common root with this root yoga. So by uniting with the Supreme, also the Latin word religion, religare, means to unite. Religare means to unite. So actually these terms, yoga and religion, are the same origin and the same meaning. So when you are in the situation of yoga, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're always with the Supreme Lord. So let us now see what Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching, because when he was 24, he took sannyas, like full renunciation. So your servant is also sannyasi, like we follow that tradition, a renunciation from the world. And he was immersed in the holy name, and sometimes he was teaching others when he was, how to say, mostly he was in internal consciousness, but sometimes he was speaking, he was giving instructions to his great devotees, Rupa Goswami, Natana Goswami, Raya Ramananda, and so many others. So let's see into Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So those teaching consists of 10 roots, 10 roots, Dasa-mula. So the first verse, Madhurika, you're following? The first verse is the Mula Shloka, the introductory verse. Mula means root, the root verse. So all 10 roots are mentioned in it, right? Amnaya prahat, you know it? Amnaya prahat tattvam harimaha paramam sarvashaktim rasabdhim tadbinnam shamsya jivan prakrita kavalitam tanvimuktam shabhavat bheda prakasham sakalam api hare sadhanam shuddha bhaktim sadyam tat pritim evatipati shadi janan gaurachandra swayamsa. I like quoting Sanskrit, and it's so purifying. So now we'll speak in English. The meaning of this verse. There are 10 roots of the philosophy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The first root is called pramana. Pramana means proof. You prove before speaking, stating something. We say, according to such and such source of information, there is, such and such and such, and we make some statement. According to, what my neighbor saw, there's a fire in the courtyard, right? He so told me, something bad is happening. Anyway, so he's the praman, he's the, proof for what something is happening. And then we're stating. So what is the praman? Praman or proof? Yeah, paying attention. Amnaya praha means the words of the Holy Scriptures. Amnaya praha. In Vedic philosophy, there are 10 types of conclusions. You can see them in Madhurya Kadambini, they're mentioned. We're not going into that now, but there are 3 main ones. The first one is pratyaksha, means direct perception. If you see something, like you see fire, we say, I see fire. And that may be not completely true, because you can have some impression that it is fire. For example, a mirage in the desert, you can see it as water, but actually that's the movement of the hot air. So it's not perfect, because your senses are not perfect. We are conditioned souls. The residents of this material world are conditioned souls. Why? Because conditioned souls have 4 defects. Wait a minute. Brahma, pramada, vipralipsa, karanapata. Brahma means we are making, illusion. Pramada, we're making mistakes. Vipralipsa, we're cheating others, tend to cheat others. And Karanapatava, our senses are imperfect. So that's why we see something, we call it water, but actually that's movement of the hot air, so it means mirage. Then we can make some logical conclusion. According to what I perceived, like I'm seeing smoke. I'm seeing what? Okay, I'm seeing smoke. So when there's smoke, there must be some fire. But if something has smoke, it doesn't mean that fire is there. Say in the courtyard there may be some logs, but they're not soft, they're not dry enough to be on fire. So that's why some smoke without fire can be there. So it's also not perfect. That's also not perfect. So that's why these two methods, pratyaksha and anumana, or direct sense perception and logical conclusion, are not perfect. So what is perfect then? The third type of praman, the third type of conclusion, that what the Amnaya or the Vedic Shastras, Vedic scriptures say, that is true. Amnaya Praha, that is true, because they are from the Supreme Personality, directly from his mouth, or fully describing his glories, having emanated from the lotus mouths of great, great sages of the past. So that is very, very authoritative. So we accept the divine scriptures. So now the 9 points which are being proved. That's Tattvam Harimaha Paramam. Krishna is the Supreme Absolute Truth. We're just making a list now and then we'll discuss it next. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Amnaya Praha Tattvam Harimaha Paramam Sarva Shaktim. He is endowed with all energies. He is no energy, not energyless. He has Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Shruyate. He has amazing amount of energies. And Rasabdhim, he is the ocean of rasa. He is the ocean of tastes. And then living entities. The living entities, many, many in this world, 8,400,000 species, they have all emanated from him as sparks emanated from fire. If you imagine in a dark night, there's a fire. We've seen many times. But many sparks. If you move the logs, the sparks go up. So many, thousands of them. So those are living entities. So they are like a type of reflection, or rather little sparks coming from the great fire. So that is us. We are spiritual in our essence, right? Yesterday we were discussing in Chester about spirit soul so much. So we are not this body, we are not this mind, we are not this intelligence, we are not this false ego, we're thinking of ourselves, I'm Mr. John such and such, no. This is all temporary. These are all temporary categories. But actually we are full of Sat, Chit, Ananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss. Eternity, knowledge and bliss. So our path is therefore to unite with the Supreme in the process of yoga. It's so easy. So Krishna being all attractive, being a repository of all tastes, ocean of rasa. So some living entities are bound. They're called conditioned. They reside in the material world. As some living entities are liberated. They eternally reside in the spiritual world, and they even don't know about the existence of this material world full of misery, because, law of karma, you're going to reap what you've sown. And, those three qualities, goodness, passion, ignorance, sattva, rajas, tamas. Have you heard? No. So in this material world, illusion, Maya Devi, is covering everything by the three faculties, modes. Those are goodness, passion, and ignorance. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So People in goodness are helping others, very altruistic. They like pure things, pure climate, pure water, ecological, this, that, and very, very altruistic, helping others. Those who are in passion, they do business, they don't mind walking on heads of others, all attraction towards opposite sex, completely uncontrollable thirst, for accumulating riches, money, like this. So that is passion. And ignorance, false views, inertia of all kinds, hatred, sleepiness, intoxication, like this. So that's the abominable mode of ignorance. So everything in this world we can see are covered with those three modes. And Maya, or illusion, Maya. Ma means not, and Ya means that which is not. So she is compared to a custodian, custodian, binding everyone with her ropes. But those ropes are of three kinds: the white, the red, and black. So white are goodness, the red are passion, and the black are ignorance. Otherwise, she has three hammers in her hand, and we're like gold. The living the entity is like a gold. So the more you beat the gold, the more gold is, how to say, its qualification, it's it's become purified by beating. So the ironical fact is that material energy is beating us with those three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance, until we shout, So, okay, gold is ready now. We're ready for spiritual path now. We've suffered enough. So, in bound stage, the jivas, the living entities, are under the influence of matter. And the very, very important faculty of this matter is time factor, time. Time is death personified. We would be happy to stay forever, in this body and enjoy, but time, sorry, sir, your time is over, time to go, time to pay also, and then go, like this. So it's not possible to go beyond time in this material world. So this material world, you see, the world of time and space. And spiritual world has no time and no space. It's very difficult for us to imagine the absence of time, because we are from the world of time. The clock is ticking, and we've entered this hall, and quite soon we'll leave. But in spiritual world, actually, we could say time is there, but it's like it's internal. It's eternal now. That's how to say, what they experience in spiritual world. Eternal now, and going deeper and deeper and deeper. And every moment is like unlimitedly deep and sweet. So great poets, they were coming to that fact. Oh, time, please stop. You're beautiful, like this. So they wanted time to stop. But time is devouring everything. Like this, you could see the ruins of great civilizations. So body is therefore perishable and come to an end. And the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false ego, will bring us to another body soon, according to our desires, proclivities of our mind, like this. So, okay, so these are the 8 points already. And what is the path? Pure devotion is the practice of the living entities. Pure devotion, bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga. And the goal, the 10th root, is the goal, prayojana. Pure love of Krishna is the goal. Pure love is called prema. In this material world, we're trying to love. But this love is imperfect, because it's conditioned. I love you means basically I love me. And you're so much instrumental in the love of me to me. And you're so instrumental. I love you so much, I want to keep you, to use you for my own enjoyment. That's because I love you. I love you like I love you as a plaything. I love a computer. I love my TV. I'll have my favorite game, I'll have my girlfriend for happiness of this body and mind. That's what is happening, that's going on. So people are so fallen, you see. So since time immemorial, wise men were engaged in the process of yoga, of self-realization. So we're now discussing point by point these 10 roots. And the first one is Amnaya Vakya, or the words of the scriptures, is the final proof. Right? So you just returned on time. Good, we're discussing the first root, which is Amnaya. So the first root is Amnaya, the Pramana, or the proof. And the 9 subsequent roots are Prameya, that which is being proved. So Pramana is Amnaya. Amnaya, the words of the scriptures. Amnaya Praha, the holy scriptures have stated. How do we understand that the Amnaya or the Vedic scriptures are perfect? So that originated from Brahma. You know Brahma? This is Brahma. Brahma is the creator of our universe. If you have heard, maybe, if you read some books by Swami Prabhupada, I don't know if you touched some. Little. Okay. So he's writing about the process of creation. When the Supreme Lord wants to start the creation, sometimes, sometimes, in the boundless ocean of spiritual world, spiritual sky, all of a sudden there's a black cloud that is called pradhan, the unmanifested feature of the material elements. So within that black cloud is everything ready for creation, like the copy of the system in the computer. You put it into a new box and press the button and oops, it's working there. So portable, no? So the Supreme Lord incarnates as Mahavishnu, the great Vishnu. Within his body, immeasurable amount of pores. So through those pores, little bubbles are coming out. So those bubbles are actually universes. Universes. One of the universes is our universe, like this. So it is said that our universe, there are trillions of universes. There's some limited amount, but there are trillions and trillions. A lot of them. So our creator, Brahma, is the creator of the smallest universe. It's said that our universe is the smallest. Because Brahma here has only 4 heads. Chaturbhuj, I've just come from Poland, I know some Polish language. So from the time immemorial, they were worshipping Brahma in the form of Shvetovid. This is the deity, 4-headed Brahma, Even in ISKCON temple, Hare Krishna temple, in the countryside, they put deity of Shvetovid, means Brahma, 4-headed, So please don't be surprised, 4 heads, these are Indian gods with many heads. Anyway, that's spiritual reality you have to accept. So he is, when Lord Vishnu casts his glance upon the material energy, then all jivas, all the living entities, manifest. We're actually impregnating engines in that transcendental, in the process of glancing. So little by little, all living entities come into being, but first living being is Lord Brahma. He is born within the lotus, and he doesn't know anything because he sees only darkness around, and he sees some lotus, and then the voice, he starts meditating, and he hears the voice. The Supreme Lord is uttering the 2 syllables, ta, pa. Ta, pa means, tapa means tapasya, means you have to perform austerity. So Brahma understands that he has to start creation. He is the actually constructor of this universe. So he starts meditating very deeply, and he sees the source of the lotus, where the lotus is growing. But he can see the stem, and finally he realizes this. The source is Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, the Vishnu who reclines on waters of Garbhodaka, the ocean, in each and every universe. So anyway, then Brahma starts meditating. So his great, great personality. He is the greatest of the devatas, of the demigods. So his body includes all the four Vedas. His four heads are uttering the four Vedas all the time. The histories, Mahabharata, Ramayana, ancient histories, Puranas. Have you heard of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat? That's the highest Purana, the historical narrations. They were all recorded for the sage. So Bhagavatam is the highest Purana, highest book of Vedic knowledge. So therefore, Vedic knowledge is apaurushaya, means not created by any human being. And since the source is transcendental, right? For example, a person is carrying fire, for Olympic Games, right? That is the live, manifestation of great element of fire, right? And the person may be not perfect, but anyway, he's carrying the fire, right? Brahma is perfect, right? But still his body is material. That's a sort of imperfection, let's say. But still he's carrying that knowledge, right? He's also our great, not predecessor, preceptor, yes, preceptor. He's our great preceptor, his initial master teacher. So that's why the knowledge given to Brahma was given by Krishna initially. In Bhagavat, in Srimad Bhagavatam, those 4 verses, Chatur Shlok, the 4 initial verses. Yeah. So Brahma first started those 4 verses. We're not going to quote that now. Yeah, so Srila Jiva Goswami, our great teacher, also making a conclusion about pramanas, about the conclusions, about the proofs. So your direct perception is not perfect, as the mirage was speaking. Then logical conclusion is also not perfect. You may be mistaken, but Holy Scriptures is the perfect conclusion. We take that. And those skeptics who are having doubts, maybe some man made some corrections like this, so many people are challenging like this, that is completely ungrounded. No way that they were changed, because they were given in the process of trance. And trance is the perfect state of mind, perfect state of consciousness. That's why it is the channel through which the supreme reality is being transmitted from heart to heart, not from mind to mind, from intelligence to intelligence, from heart to heart. That is the way supreme knowledge is transmitted. Okay, so questions to our students. What is Amnaya? Purushottam? What is Amnaya? Vedic scriptures. What is Pramana? Proof. So Amnaya is the Pramana. For the statements of the Vedic scriptures is the proof. Okay? And the 3 main Pramanas, you were out, so I'll repeat. The 3 main Pramanas, the 3 main conclusions are what? No. 3 modes. The 3 types of proof. Holy Scriptures, right? What's it called? Shabda. Yeah. Then Pratyaksha means direct perception, and Anumana means logical inference, logical inference. So the best one is Shabda. Okay. So Shabda Pramana is the best. Do you remember? Huh? Tomorrow morning I'll ask you. Huh? Yes. Anuman. 3 out of 10. There are 10. You can see in Gurudev's commentary in Madhurya Kadambini, it's 10 others. Anyway, some itihas, anyway, historical tradition, this, that, many are. Anuman. Yes, absolutely. That is true. That's what Purushottam remembers. So, in the line of conclusions of the scriptures, direct perception and logical inference must be accepted. That is a very important principle. So, not too complicated, Triumph, no? Okay.
With it.
Okay, yeah.
As much as I can be.
Okay, good. Because you look philosophical. I know you've read and practiced also. That's why your attention is quite bright. So now prameya, the 9 prameyas, the 9 points to be proved. What are they? So pramana, proof. Prameya, points to be proved, or points being proved by praman. Okay, so prameyas, the 9 prameyas. First one is Krishna tattvam harimaha paramam. So Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. That is the praman. This is the prameya, the first prameya, the first point to be proved. So now let us see which verses from the scriptures prove that Krishna is the supreme personality. So first, if we accept, we have to accept that the Holy Scriptures say absolute truth. All right? Then we can be directed nicely, we will not be mistaken, and we will be able to see the correct statements about each and every point here of the prameyas, the points to be proved. So sometimes Vedas say about Krishna directly, sometimes indirectly. In Upanishads, so many indirect statements. There are transcendentalists, you understand? Transcendentalists means those who are aspiring for spiritual perfection, of 2 kinds, personalists and impersonalists. Personalists are those who believe the Supreme Lord has a form, and impersonalists are those who believe he doesn't have a form. So, Trine, what do you think? What category you find yourself in?
I think I waver between the 2.
Oh, yeah.
But the in-between.
Oh, yes. So, actually, you're completely right, because he's both. He's personal and impersonal also. But if you see the sun, if you take the sun, the example, it's the brightest example, actually brightest object, shining in this world, the sun has the form, isn't it? The disk. Also from Indian tradition we know that's the personality, Vivaswan, or Surya. Even in Indian languages, sun is called Surya. Yeah. So that is the name of personality, demigod, the sun. And in the Vedas it's said that the sun and the moon are the eyes of the Supreme Lord, so we accept it's divine. So he's direct representatives, mighty personalities. That's why Indians worship the sun. In the morning they do. They take some vessel and they pour some water like this and they praise. That's why they're very healthy. It gives health so much. So in yoga, Surya Namaskar, that's in salutation to the sun, actually. So you're having automatically so much health from the sun god. But anyway, so the sun has rays, and we see those rays, and we sometimes go sunbathing. Here maybe not so often, but anyway. So then another 10 minutes, some rain comes. So anyway, the rays are impersonal. But if a person, like a child, hasn't seen the sun, he can go to the beach and do some sunbathing, and then mommy and daddy will say, look, that's the sun in the sky. So there's the source of the rays. Oh, now the sun is hidden. So the clouds are there. And soon the sun will appear. So the child sees and understands that the sun is the source of light. So some people meditate on light. Many people actually. Shankara's followers in India, Buddhists, and they follow in the path of impersonalism. They say the Lord is everywhere, and they say that he has no form. But actually what Vedas say, he has no material form. That's what they actually say. And in the same Vedas, we just heard that there are direct and indirect descriptions of Krishna. Direct and indirect. So in direct descriptions, very, very wonderful, his beautiful form is described. In the same Bhagavatam, Parahapidam Natavaravapū Karnayo Karnikaram Bibradvasa Kanakakapisham Vajayantim Chamalam Randran Venuradar Sudaya Puran Gopa Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravisham Gita Kirti. Parahapidam, he is decorated by peacock feather. Brahapitam, Natavaravapu, he is the best of dancers. Natavarapu, Karnayo Karnikaram, beautiful Karnikara flowers, Canera, those in Latin America they're known as Canera. Karnikara, yellow, and behind his ears. Karnikaram, Bibradvasa Kanakakapisham, he's beautifully attired, his beautiful attire of great actor, great dancer, stage dancer, Natavara, best of the dancers. Lord Shiva is popularly known as the best of dancers, but Krishna is dancing even better. Vaijayantim Chamalam, great Vaijayantimala, the garland of 5 kinds of forest flowers decorating his neck and reaching his knees. Vaijayantim Karnan Upavrinder, he's surrounded by his boyfriends, cowherd boys, and he's happily moving towards the pasturing grounds. So the young damsels of Raj, they see Krishna like this. Very wonderful. So not only form he has, the reality is that he has form, he has pastimes, name, form, qualities, and pastimes. He has everything. But impersonalists, unfortunately, tend to think that those categories can be only material. Because they say, okay, Brahman is spiritual. This is called Brahman. This bright light, Brahma Jyoti. Jyoti means light. So this effulgence. They say, oh, it's spiritual. And anything else which has a form, which has qualities, which has some activities, pastimes, are all material, they say. Oh, we Vaishnavas, we're worshippers of Krishna, are saying that's a great offense. You can't say that. Because the Vedas say he has no material form, he has no material qualities, he has no material pastimes. I have material form, I'm called Sadhu Maharaj for the moment. Next moment, Govindaya Namo Namaha. As we say. But I have material qualities, I'm material, how to say, I know like 4 languages and this and that, good quality, bad quality. Anyway, Guru sees. But then what? I travel around the world, here, there, I stay in India. These are my pastimes, so-called, but they're material, you see. So those impersonalists, they say, okay, we have all those categories, all those features, but they're all material or temporary. But Krishna has all that, but that is spiritual. Spiritual doesn't mean no form, no qualities, no pastimes. It doesn't mean. But some people tend to think. There was great personality, Shankaracharya. He's actually an incarnation of Lord Shiva. He lived, I think, 9th century. Very short life, 32 years only. He did a great job. He returned Vedas as a great authority again, because all India was under Buddhism at that time, the time of Emperor Ashoka. So Shankara was on a special mission to return the authority of the Vedas to India. So everybody again accepted India, the Vedas, but the conclusion was impersonalistic. So he did what? He turned the conclusions of the Vedas upside down. And he sort of proved, that actually Brahman, Supreme, reality has no name, no form, no qualities, no pastimes. He's saying that. Because this sage is very fallen, And some people, actually many people, they cannot come to path of bhakti, of devotion. Only a few people can come to the path of bhakti, devotion. Most people cannot. So that's why, okay, I think it was not so complicated. So that's why we are receiving so much proof from the Vedas that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the beginning of Bhagavatam, 24 incarnations are mentioned by Shukadev Goswami. And then the end conclusion is given. Etecham shakala pumsa Krishna stu Bhagavan swayam vridayati yuge yuge. Etecham shakala pumsa Krishna stu Bhagavan swayam vridayati yuge yuge. Sorry, tiredness. So from yuga to yuga, from age to age, he comes as many, many avatars. But Etecham shakala pumsa, all of those parts and the parcels of the Supreme Personality, the origin is Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Bhagavan Swayam means the Supreme Personality. So many, many things. That same Brahma, the highest authority, has offered so many prayers in Brahma Samhita. You've heard Brahma Samhita. So the first verse you remember, Purushottam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakara Nakaranam. I have to learn. So this one and 1.3.28, I think. Atecham Shakalapamsa. So Ishvara Parama Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God is Krishna. Parama means supreme. Satchidananda Vigraha, the embodiment of eternity, knowledge and bliss. Anadir Adir Govinda. So he is beginning less, and therefore from him everything begins, because he is beginning less. Sarva Karana Karanam, the source of all, so the reason, what's that? The cause of all causes. Cause of all causes, that's it. In this material world, we're digging into the beginning, where it all started from, right? So where did your father come from? From grandfather, and grandfather come from whom? Great grandfather is. So we're trying. Okay, where did Brahma come from? Oh, Brahma came from the lotus flower, growing from the navel of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Where Garbhodakashaya Vishnu came from where? Krishna himself. Krishna came from? He is the source of all, the cause of all causes. So transcendental, and transcendental means unlimited. We're the residents of material world, that's why we don't have any access towards unlimited. Everything is limited. So by empirical means, we cannot understand the source. But by Vedic proof, we can understand. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the second, next one, the third Prameya, Sarva Shaktim. He is the source of all energies. So he is not energyless. When he wants to exhibit this material world, so he operates his shaktis, his energies. When he is very, very close with his Chit Shakti, completely spiritual energy, then all spiritual world manifests, but it's eternally manifest anyway. It's eternally manifested. It didn't happen once. It's like eternally like this. But Krishna manifests that anyway, we can say, because we're from the world of manifestations. So we can say that, okay, when he's close to his Chit Shakti, or his spiritual energy, then all spiritual variegatedness manifests. Then the living entities of this world, when Krishna is very close to his Jiva Shakti, or the energy of the living entity, then the living entities manifest. Okay, and then finally, when he's very close to his Maya Shakti, or illusory energy, then all material variegatedness here manifests. The material elements and subtle elements, mind, intelligence, false ego, objects of the senses, and those 24 elements, 24 elements. They all manifest material elements. So everything comes from him. But he is the ocean of rasa. What does it mean? He wants to enjoy. He is the supreme enjoyer, the Purusha. In Indian languages, Purusha, that word means actually male. If you want to go to the bathroom, you must choose Purush, written in Hindi. Purush means male. Right? But Purush means actually enjoyer. And Shakti, or energy, is something to be enjoyed by the enjoyer. That's female nature. So Krishna is enjoying multifarious energies of all kinds. Parasya Shakti Vidayo Shret. But our essence as the jivas, as the living entity, we're female by nature. So Krishna has to enjoy us, and we are to be enjoyed by him. That's what's to be done, by him. That's what has to be done. So we have to be obedient to his will. And we are strongly recommended by scriptures and by Guru, by spiritual master, to enter that spiritual, pastimes, right? Those lila, which are to be taken place by Krishna. Also, he is reservoir of rasa. Yes, this is number 5, I said. And now, since we mentioned the living entities, so living entities, we just mentioned, they are to be enjoyed, right? So they are expansions of Jiva Shakti. Yeah. And in our case, material, the residence of material from Tatastha Shakti means between material and spiritual and material. Unfortunately, we made the wrong choice. We entered this material world by our own mistake. We had a choice. Like a fish, sees both sides. And also it's given the example, pouring mustard seeds, on the edge of knife. One side or the other side. So that moment when we glanced at material nature was momentary, but anyway we did the wrong choice and we looked at it because it's so attractive, like a little child. A little child practically has no choice. When he sees the fire, I want that. And mommy, his hand, don't touch, it's dangerous. But it's too late. The child has already burned his hand. Mommy, don't do again. Like this. So mommy is like guru. Like this. So that is our mistake. We have come into this material world by our own mistake. And we're bound to be suffering in this karma, reincarnation, having been bound by the 3 ropes of Maya, the 3 modes. We already mentioned goodness, passion, ignorance. So what is the path? The path is Shuddha Bhakti, or pure devotional service. That is the 9th root. So the 7 first ones, prameyas, were about Sambandha, the relationship with Krishna. Jiva, Krishna, Maya, this triangle, right? And sadhanam Shuddha Bhaktim, the spiritual discipline of sadhana, means pure devotional service. So that's why we're so much chanting, thinking of Krishna. 64 elements of Bhakti Yoga, 64. But 3 are most important. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Hearing, chanting, remembering. 3. Hearing, chanting, remembering. So now guess, which of the 3 is universal? Question 2. Trajan, what do you think? Hearing, chanting, or remembering? What?
Chanting.
Absolutely. Right. Trajan has answered perfectly. Because when you chant, you hear and you remember as well. So that's the central process, therefore. And the holy name is not an ordinary name, as we already mentioned. Sri Caitanya said he actually didn't write any books, but he uttered Shikshastaka, the 8 prayers, one time. So he said in the second one, Nam namakari bahudanija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishitava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivamadrisham yahajanina raga. Oh my Lord, you have invested all your energies, all of your love into your holy names. And by great mistake, by misfortune, I have entered this material world. And by my great misfortune, I'm not attracted to your holy names. It's fire on me, like this. So actually, holy names are most attractive. And I'm sure Traian has chanted and also appreciated, and I know that you remember these holy names because they're most attractive. But normally we're attracted by other things in this material world. TV, politics, this, that, so many things people are doing. We're just looking through the window, we're saying, no. So this is all material energy. But actually Krishna is most attractive. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said to Arjuna, all the beautiful things in this world have source in me alone. What to speak of all the other things? I'm the source of all beautiful things, all attractive things. So that's why our aim in the process of bhakti to be attracted by Krishna. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. There are only two rules. Yena tena prakarena, to remember Krishna and never forget him. But how to remember? By chanting you remember. By chanting you hear, and by chanting you remember. So chanting is the universal process. Chanting doesn't mean also doesn't mean only to sing or to speak during japa. Japa means chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Speaking about Krishna is also kirtan, is also chanting. For example, a perfected soul speaks Bhagavatam, the great narrations of Krishna, collected in a Bhagavata Purana or Bhagavatam. So that's perfect, that's perfect. Ya Bhagavatam ana Vaishnavirastane, ya Kanta Ashraya Sri Krishna Charane. If you hear Bhagavatam from the mouth of Bhagavata, then you will be one-pointedly devoted to Krishna. There's no other way. Otherwise you will not be devoted to Krishna if you're not hearing, not chanting, not remembering. So that's why we're trying to direct our attention, direct our function of all the senses towards hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. So only two rules: always remember, never forget. So prayojana, or great goal to be achieved, prema, is prema, or pure divine love. So there are two contrary things: prema, or divine love in spiritual world, and kama, or lust, in this material world. So in this material world, the residents are so much enchanted by Maya, or material energy, that they think that, oh, actually everything belongs to me, and I am the enjoyer. So when the jiva, when the living entity, mistakenly accepts himself to be enjoyer, oh, that's a great blunder, and it's a great cause of trouble. And then, yes, we're in great problematic situation. So there's a way out, and that's our mission to say, to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Holy Master, to hear the holy name from him, to repeat, and to chant all life. That is, if you're drowning in the ocean, right? Somebody's giving you a life buoy. What's your function? To grab and to hold and breathe, Okay, so somebody takes you on the boat, and that somebody is actually representative of Shri Guru, spiritual master, and then spiritual master will take you across the ocean of material world, material existence. So he's the helmsman. Shri Guru Kandari, Shri Guru Kandari. He's the helmsman, right? And our function is what? To be nice passengers and help rowing also. Because Guru is the helmsman, so the Mayana Kulina Bayasvaterikam, those, what do you call them? Sails. So those sails are the instructions of the Vedas. And Sri Guru knows how to make them catch the favorable wind of great fortune. So that's why the boat floats across the ocean of birth and death. There's a great, great ocean, in between. Viraja River. It's called Viraja River. When you cross Viraja River, then you go from material to spiritual. But without Guru, you cannot go. You have to take shelter of Sri Guru. Like you go to some mountain region and you're alone and you're new in the area. So if you go alone, by your foolishness you'll get lost or eaten by wild animals. So you have to take shelter of the guide. And if you take shelter of the guide, you surrender to the guide. Oh, I understand, I recognize, So you're local, so please take me, take my hand and take me by the hand. So in that way, parents introduce children to this material world, but they're not going to learn much, only to be beaten by the 3 hammers, But by taking the hand of Sri Guru, some realized soul who knows the path of perfection and knows the prayojana, the great fulfillment, then we'll be really, really perfected. So we're very fortunate. We've come today to share our good fortune. We've taken shelter of great personalities. My Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivinoda Narayan Goswami Maharaj. But he left this planet at the end of 2010. Our instructing spiritual master, Shiksha Guru, Pujapat Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, under whose shelter we're now practicing, and they're his disciples, and like Shiksha disciple, my instructing spiritual master also. So they are perfected souls. We're inviting you to visit us in Vrindavan, India, where I reside, like most of the time of the year, sometimes going here and there for preaching. So just before we start last kirtan, last chanting, we wonder if Trayan has any questions or anything you want to clarify. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Sri Bhakti Yoga Ki Jai, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. We made this class also like pertainable for our full-time members. That you could, I hope you could remember something with Pramana and Prameya. So we'll return to the subject and you could refresh certain things you knew from before. So please follow us in the last kirtan, and then we'll give some small vegetarian, refreshment, and something from India we'll have also. Hare Krishna, Hare. First time the leader sings and the choir sings. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Paramaraditam Guru Padma ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So we're inviting you for tomorrow's event in where? Carnarvon. So 6 o'clock Monday. Carnarvon. So that will be our concluding program in this area. Then we're going to London area, Watford and places around. So also you can give your contact. We can include you in the broadcast group, where all the broadcasts will be online or in recording on YouTube of all our programs till the 15th of June. So then the UK tour will be finished, and now some refreshment. Do you have some question? Any questions? Mm-hmm. No. Okay.
There's one man who came downstairs when he's in the wheelchair. He can't come.
Oh, so you cannot come so high. All right, unfortunate. So, thank you. Somebody is writing something in the group. Okay, thank you very much, and see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. GMT. Now some refreshments will be given. Gaur Premanande.